Hola, buenos dias, and welcome back to Mexico. I am now in Oaxaca, the cultural hub of Mexico and one of its most exciting destinations, fit to rival any city in the world for its gastronomy, heritage, arts and crafts, indigenous culture, and much more. I am super excited. I've been wanting to visit Oaxaca, possibly as number one on my list in Mexico. I took a flight here from Monterrey in the north, and of course it's much cooler now in the south. In the summer, it's rainy season, also a little bit humid, but nothing like the heat of the drier northern state of Nuevo León. Right now I'm on the terrace of my Hotel Concorazon, and before I head out, I'm going to show you a quick room tour as well as some excellent work that this hotel does. So a quick show of my room here at Hotel Concorazon. Simplistic style, built in a sustainable fashion, with the proceeds going to vulnerable children in the state of Oaxaca. Here we have the ensuite, really nice. And the room here with very peaceful views of the calm courtyard outside in the trees. Perhaps no more than any hotel I've ever shown on my channel have I been happier to endorse than this one because of the great work it does. Did you know that Oaxaca is one of the poorest states in Mexico, and 50% of children in Oaxaca do not finish their secondary school education? 75% of everything you spend here on the room, on tours, on food, drinks, whatever it may be, goes directly to the children of Oaxaca to help their education. If you want more details about what they do and the entire project, then do check out the website. It's in the description below. But if you're looking to invest and contribute towards something positive while visiting Oaxaca, then this is the perfect hotel to do it. The link is in the description once again. Now walking through the streets of Oaxaca and a plaza that's opened up here with the Basilica de la Soledad. The city is full of these beautiful plazas and old churches. We're going to see a lot more as we head towards the central part. Much like Mexico City, Oaxaca has a Zocalo and Cathedral Metropolitana. Beautiful sculptures on the front, and the Zocalo carrying on to here, shaded by trees and small cafes all around. It's the perfect place to soak up the city's vibe and atmosphere at any time of day, and here in the morning it's of course very peaceful and pleasant. The pedestrianized Zocalo, people setting up their stalls for the day here in the morning. Old historic buildings of the city surrounding the pleasant plaza.
¿Le dejo algo? Buenos días. Un atolito, tamalito.
Estamos mismo a Monte Alban. Si gustan les puedo regalar un flyer para que lo chequen.
With a strong indigenous culture, Oaxaca has a lot of very colorful handmade items which represent the people of the region, especially the colorful ladies' clothes. And you can pick them all up here at one of the markets surrounding the Zocalo. Also men's clothes here too. Valeria, who's with me, you said your grandfather is from Oaxaca and he used to wear one of these, which is the guayaberas, is that correct?
Yeah, he's always wearing guayaberas around the house because every time he comes back to his home, he gets like 10 different guayaberas for the next season.
And they're really expensive, aren't they?
Yeah, the ones that are actually handmade, they're really expensive. As well as these, the female clothing, the ones that are bordadas, those ones, if they're real, they're like handmade, they're really expensive. And it takes like months and years to finish one clothing item.
Circling around the Zocalo, you'll find all of the different stalls selling items that you may be interested in before heading to one of the most picturesque streets in the city that is also pedestrianized. Running from the Zocalo all the way north to the Templo de Santo Domingo is the Anada Turístico, which is a pedestrianized street which has been traffic-free since the 1980s, flanked on either side by colonial-era stone buildings. There are some restaurants and also a few art galleries, and it's one of the most picturesque places in Oaxaca with the view of the mountains and the clouds in the background. Some beautifully painted skulls here. Oaxaca is one of the best places to experience Dia de Muertos, Day of the Dead. A shop selling tapetes, the beautiful hand-woven patterns that are synonymous here with the region in Oaxaca in their particular style. As you reach the end of the pedestrianized street, you will see arguably the city's most iconic church, the Templo de Santo Domingo, built between 1570 and 1608. It has a unique Baroque facade and is connected to the city's Dominican monastery. The church has stood the test of time with its thick stone walls protecting it from earthquakes in this prone region. The church is named after Santo Domingo, or Saint Dominic, who founded the Dominican order. The Dominicans observed strict values and took part in poverty and chastity. That practice actually protected them from the lavish lifestyles of the colonialists that came here to Mexico. I'm now back here in Hotel Concorazon after wandering around some of the streets in central Oaxaca, and after stopping at Mayordomo, which is a place where they do Oaxacan chocolate, I have picked up a Oaxacan hot chocolate, which is made with agua. There's also the option of getting it with leche, milk, so you can choose one or the other. There are also other drinks, some mixed with coffee and with crema of mezcal, things like that. But this is the most original way to try the chocolate, and there are so many places in the city to choose from. So let's try it. It's one of the most significant places in Mexico for chocolate, Oaxaca, and dates back to the time of the Olmecs and the Mayans and the Aztecs, the cacao beans. So Here we go. It has a natural sweetness that's not overbearing, and it hasn't been tainted with sugar like other drinks. No, it has that kind of a watery chocolate taste, but in a nice way, not one that's bland either. I really like it. It tastes very warm and homey. It's a kind of a cozy drink. Having it caliente hot is the way to do it, but you can also get a cold one if you prefer. And in this shot here, you can see the way she's making it in the traditional sense. A molinillo almost tastes as if it's already got milk in it, but it doesn't. And that's why I like the water-based version a lot. It's more natural. So fast forward, and it's now the evening, and I'm here in Las 15 Letras, which is a really highly recommended restaurant here in Oaxaca. I'm here personally to try the mole, but they have lots of authentic Oaxacan dishes. Main course has arrived after having some chicken soup for a starter, and I have 3 different types of mole here. I have the rojo, which is red, negro, black, and here almendrado, almond mole. 2 are with chicken and 1 is with pork. And I'm very excited to try the arguably most quintessential thing to taste here in Oaxaca. So let's start with the red, shall we? Mole is all about the sauce, not the meat that accompanies it. The red's really good. It's rich. It's more savory than I think the black is going to be. We'll find out in a second. It has a touch of tomato to it, the red one. Now for the black, here we go. Arguably the most famous one. Oh, much more darker, a bit bitter, a hint of chocolate in there. The black is really good. I've tried it once before in Mexico City, and to be honest, I wasn't the greatest fan of it, but this one right here is actually really good. So I've changed my mind on the black. I can eat it if it's in the right place. And the last one, the almonds, which almost looks curry-like in its color. That's much sweeter, far less bitter, nuttier, and almost reminds me of a satay sauce or a massaman Thai curry, that kind of flavor. Very, very sweet, but absolutely beautiful. I'm going to get stuck in now and enjoy this properly. And do check out this place if you fancy trying more than one mole in one go here in Oaxaca. Hello and welcome back to Oaxaca City. Today is another day, and I'm starting here with breakfast in Hotel Concorazon, where I'm staying. And today we'll be heading out to visit some places in the state of Oaxaca, outside of the city. Right now I have guajillo for breakfast here, along with some fruit and coffee. After this, going to jump on the tour and head to our first place today. First stop here on our day trip tour to some places outside of the city is Monte Alban, which is a famous archaeological site here. According to our guide, the most beautiful in Mexico. He is from the area though, so perhaps slightly biased. And it's a sweeping site full of complex archaeological pyramids and temples from thousands of years ago. And let's take a look around. It looks beautiful here on the top of the hills, with the lush green all around and the cloudy skies. Not only is Monte Alban a site of historic value worth visiting, from here we have spectacular views of the surrounding valley and mountains of the state outside of the city. And we're about 6,400 feet above sea level here, so it's very cool. The air is fresh, especially here in the middle of the rainy season, which has been better this year despite less rainfall overall due to climate change. Amazing views at the top of the steep steps from this side of the site. Right now we're going to head back on the bus for a quick journey to the next stop to have some lunch, among a few other things like mezcal tasting a bit later on. Now having lunch here in a restaurant that specializes in the Oaxacan food and pre-Hispanic food. Here I have just tried the green mole, mole verde, one I didn't try the other night. And here is another one, my fifth different type of mole, amarillo, which is yellow. This one's a little bit more spicy and less sweet. It goes well with arroz rojo, red rice, Mexican rice. And also here we have tlayudas, which are also extremely popular and historic to this region, and something that you also must try in the city. Here they only have it with tocino, but there are many different toppings or fillings you can get with it. Inside frijoles and Oaxacan cheese, a toasted kind of flatbread. This one is really good. A great snack, or even a meal in the evening when you've had a large lunch or something, or just when you're hungry in the middle of the day, and it's been served for thousands of years like this. Finishing off here today at another location outside of Oaxaca, here to see the mezcal making process, learn a little bit about it, and also have a tasting session as well. Mezcal is the spirit drink that they make here, especially in Oaxaca, from the maguey plant. Mexico is very famous for tequila, but here in Oaxaca, it's all about mezcal. You can see here all the different types of the agave plant that creates mezcal. I think my favorite is the fire one here. 12 years, 12 años, 12 años. Many of them take a long time to grow, and the whole thing is a very long process. Here we have the big fire pit where we begin the process of cooking. In the summer it's a shorter amount of time, about 4 to 6 days. In the winter, a longer period of 12 days. And from all of this you could produce roughly about 1,500 bottles of mezcal. Okay, so trying the first mezcal here, which is Joven. I pronounced that correctly, Joven. And it's the youngest one, isn't it? Okay, here we go. Supposed to have a smell first. Take a sip. Swish around the mouth. Exhale with either your nose or your mouth, right? I really like this one. It's sharp. 40% that one, by the way. Afterwards, to wash the mouth out, slice of limon with worm salt. I'm not sure if I put too much on, to be honest, but there you go. So we're ready for the next one. So next up we have the avocado con gusano, which is the one that has worm inside it. This is just the liquid, of course, there's no worm in my glass right now. It's actually a lighter flavor. It's a much lighter flavor. So very kindly on the house, they have given us some worms to try as I focus the camera there so you can see them. This is something I've never done before, neither has Valeria. So would you like to take your worm? We're supposed to dip it in the worm salt first before biting about half of it, I suppose. Okay. Taking mine. Here we go.
Tasty.
Dip it in the worm salt and bite half of it. Wow, it's very fragrant.
Yeah, of course.
Take a sip of mezcal before consuming the second half. It's not squidgy how you might think.
No,
you know, maybe you're expecting it to be like a thick noodle type of texture, but it's not. Did you like it?
I don't know. It didn't got a lot of flavor, but I like the texture. It's like, I don't know, like a botana.
Next one is the darkest of the ones we've tried so far. 8 years it takes to produce this baby. So here we go again. Stronger, maybe slightly darker. This one, if you didn't think they could take longer, 25 years to produce, and 47% stronger, older, more expensive, of course. And it's in one of the top mezcals in the whole of Mexico. And believe me, there's a lot of them. So, here we go.
It's complex, I told you.
Complex. Yeah, I agree. After a long day, I'm now back here at Hotel Concorazon on the balcony in front of my room. We stopped at a number of different places that showed authentic craftsmanship. One of them was creating pottery using mud. Alongside that, there was also a very interesting weaving place where they showed us how they used the cotton to produce the different colors and items that were on sale. If you are interested in the tour that I did today, it's not sponsored in any way, I paid for it, but Oaxaca Dreams is the name of the company. They were really good and the tour guide spoke English excellently, along with Spanish at the same time. Hotel Concorazon, of course, the link is in the description if you want to help the children of Oaxaca, and follow me on Instagram for more stories and posts from Mexico as I continue this grand old adventure around the heart of one of the most fascinating countries in the world. See you on the next one. Peace.